My name is Phillip Andrew Foristall. I am a vet, U.S. Army. I served in the 3rd Infantry Division out of Fort Stewart, Georgia. I was in the Military Intelligence Battalion in 4th Brigade. I spent a year in Iraq from January 2005 to January 2006. And I've been out of the Army since 2007, actually. I went to film school. Actually, I went to Full Sail University in the fall of 2008. Yeah, and then from there, I went to Full Sail for the recording arts degree, and then immediately after that, I went into the film bachelor's program, and I actually graduated from that in June 2nd of this year. So, yeah, now I'm out here in Los Angeles.
Okay, so since you've been in Los Angeles, what kind of work have you been doing?
Actually, the first job that I got in Los Angeles was through a friend of mine who, Brian Bennett over at Dynasty Films. He does time-lapse work, specifically for commercials, different things like that. I did a time-lapse piece with him for Breaking Bad, their promotional work for the new season. We went out into Palm Springs, out in the desert. It was a 3-day shoot out there, and since then we've got a couple other things coming up, and we actually just did a commercial with a GM commercial with LASpeeddate.com. We just shot that Thursday, actually, a few days ago, over at the Avalon Hotel in Beverly Hills.
Okay. What are your long-term goals?
My long-term goals, to be completely honest, I want to be a cinematographer. Hopefully, knock on wood, an Academy Award-winning cinematographer. I love it. I love cinematography. I love the fact that there's so many different forms of both film and now digital technology that you can utilize all these different methods to create just worlds that people have never seen before. Good cinematography doesn't necessarily need to be backed with a lot of special effects or computer-generated things, although a lot of times they are. But I think when you can pull it all together seamlessly, you can take an audience and put them somewhere completely different, and they'll feel like there's no loss of reality. They just sort of wander into it, and that becomes their reality.
Okay.
So,
what are some short-term things that...
short-term goals?
Not necessarily goals, but short-term steps that you could take to help you get to your long-term?
Ideally, I actually want to start working more in camera departments, second AC, cam opping, clapper loader, whatever, or lighting, because again, I think they're all integral to filmmaking. But also commercial work. I love music videos. I think they're just a really great way to be completely creative. You can tell a story, or you don't have to tell a story, but they're just really great visually. And as an aspiring cinematographer, I think they're really like the art form of cinematography. Outside of most feature films or outside of the film format, music videos really let you be creative and explore.
Now, I don't know a whole lot about the movie industry, but I've heard a lot of people sitting here today talk about PA or director's assistant, things of that nature. Is that in any way something that you would be interested in or would help you to get where you need to be?
Yes. Some of the things that I've been told through other people is if you're a PA, if you're a production assistant on set and you want to work in the grip and electric department or in the camera department, specifically grip and electric, take a pair of gloves with you and hang them on your belt. Because if you have a pair of gloves, you're more than willing to pick up cable and start wrapping cable, laying cable wherever it needs to go. And I am a big firm believer in no matter what I'm doing on set, I can help out someone else. If I'm hired on for a production assistant and I see that the lighting department either needs someone to help move gear back and forth or they need an extra hand to make sure that something's put up safely, I will absolutely help out with that. So that's why I feel because PAs are considered entry-level jobs from my understanding, I think it really depends on where you want to go. But I think if you know where you want to go, you can get there through almost any entry. And PAs are a very versatile bunch because you could be a PA and never step foot on set, or you could be a PA who never leaves set. So it really is dependent on what you're tasked to do as a PA.
Okay. I've asked other people this question, so I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
How do you think that your military experience lends itself to your being successful in the movie industry?
The short answer is, in the military, you learn to take orders, you learn to give orders, and you learn to delegate. And in the filmmaking industry, those three things, not necessarily taking orders, but being told this is what needs to get done or you need to get this done, and being able to delegate down tasks and responsibilities is a huge, huge benefit. Because it's one thing to try to do everything yourself, especially if you have 2 or 3 other people working with you, or even one other person working with you. But if you can delegate tasks and responsibilities between you and, say, I'm a PA and you're a PA, and we get a list of 10 things we have to do, you know, we could sit there and do them both together, or we can break it up and say, okay, you do these 5 things, I'll do these 5 things, and we both go our separate ways, we both get them done, and we now have everything done in ideally less time, so now we're available to do more. And that's something that I learned through the military, is if you delegate things properly, you save time, you save money, you save energy, and it makes everything a lot smoother, be it a production or a military movement or whatever. If you can think ahead and see things that can potentially go wrong, you can prevent them before they go wrong, so you can make everyone's life a little bit easier doing your job.
Okay, so
Can I cut
if,
there